Isn't it strange how we navigate life, each of us carrying kindness in our hearts like a hidden treasure, hoping others will see it, appreciate it, maybe even reciprocate it. We put ourselves out there, trying to connect with people on a real level, believing that if we're good to others, good things will come back to us. We wear smiles like shields, like armor, thinking that maybe kindness alone can protect us. But deep down, many of us know it's not that simple. There's this idea that kindness is a strength, something that makes us better, and in some ways that's true. But what no one really tells you is that kindness, true, genuine kindness, is often misunderstood. It's complex. People crave kindness. They say they want it in their lives. But when they receive it, when they finally see it in front of them, some people won't know what to do with it. They'll see it as something to take advantage of, something they're entitled to without even knowing its value. And that's when it hurts. When you realize that your kindness, the very best part of you, is treated as something disposable. So many of us have been there. We give and give, thinking that maybe, just maybe, this person will appreciate it, that they'll see the worth in us. But then all too often, they don't. They leave, or they betray, or they turn that kindness into something they can use and discard. And what's left after they're gone? A wounded heart, the heavy weight of wondering if you somehow gave too much or trusted too quickly. It's easy to think the problem was with us, that if only we'd been a little colder, a little less open, maybe we wouldn't be hurting. But here's a hard truth about the world. Some people are not built to recognize kindness for what it truly is. They take it, they use it, and then, when they no longer have any use for it, they walk away. And we're left standing there, trying to make sense of the emptiness they left behind, wondering if it's possible to ever trust anyone again. We sit with that pain, replaying memories, hoping that maybe one day they'll realize what they lost, that they'll understand the treasure they had in you. But the sad reality is, most people won't. They move on without a second thought, never realizing that the kindness they took for granted won't come back, not from you, and maybe not even from anyone else. It's a cycle, and it's a brutal one. They'll go through life searching for that same kindness they found in you, hoping to find it in smiles and empty gestures, in people who won't ever offer what you gave. And by the time they finally understand what they lost, it's too late. You're already moving on, piecing together the parts of yourself they tried to break, learning to be cautious but not cynical, learning to protect the very kindness that makes you who you are. But there's a shift, a moment when you realize you don't owe anyone that part of yourself anymore. They've had their chance. You've seen what happens when you open your heart to those who don't value it. So, you start to build walls, not because you're bitter or angry, but because you're stronger now. You're learning that kindness is a gift, not a debt you owe to everyone who crosses your path. It's something to be given carefully, to those who earn it, to those who will cherish it. And suddenly, the power shifts back to you. The kindness that once made you vulnerable becomes your strength, your armor, because now you know how to protect it. This change doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey, one that requires you to face the pain they left behind, to acknowledge that hurt and let it shape you. It doesn't make you weak. It makes you wise. You understand that your heart, your ability to care deeply and to give selflessly, isn't for everyone. Not everyone deserves to know that side of you, and that's okay. In fact, it's liberating, and maybe someday those people will come back, looking for that same kindness they once took for granted. They'll remember the way you made them feel, the way you were there when no one else was. But by then, you'll have changed, you'll have grown, and maybe, just maybe, you'll smile, not out of bitterness, but out of understanding, because they'll finally see what they lost, but they won't be able to have it back. The kindness they thought was infinite, the kindness they took as a given, it's no longer theirs to take. There's a lesson here that many of us learn only after being hurt, after giving too much and receiving too little in return. It's not about hardening your heart or closing yourself off from the world. It's about learning to guard the parts of you that matter most. Kindness, true kindness, is rare. And when you have it, it's not something to be given freely to everyone. It's a part of you that deserves to be cherished, not drained. The world has this way of testing people like us, those who lead with kindness, those who want to believe in the goodness of others. But there's strength in realizing that not everyone is worth that belief, that some people are meant to be let go of, to be released from your life, because in letting them go, you reclaim the power they tried to take, the light they tried to dim. And here's the beautiful part. Once you've walked this journey, once you've faced that hurt and come out stronger, no one can take that kindness from you again. They might try. They might see the light in you and want a piece of it. But now you know better. You've learned to be kind without being a doormat, to give without losing yourself in the process. And that strength, that resilience, that's something no one can take away. So let them wonder. Let them look back and see what they lost. Let them search for a kindness they'll never find again, because now it's yours to keep, yours to share only with those who truly deserve it. And as you walk forward, stronger and wiser, you'll realize that the kindness you protect is no longer a vulnerability. It's your greatest power. And in that power, there is freedom. Freedom from the pain they left behind. Freedom to be exactly who you are, without compromise. Let your kindness be a light that guides you, a strength that shields you, a gift that you give only to those who see it for what it truly is. Because you, with all your kindness, your resilience, your courage, you are a rare soul. And the world needs more of you, just as you are, unbroken and unstoppable.